how do we show this generosity to people who might need a break from church?
I think one of the narratives that we experience here at Commons pretty regularly is people sort of returning to their faith story over again. And one of the things I think we've always really tried to protect here as a staff is creating space for people to do exactly that, to step back into community, to take lots of time. We try not to be in your face immediately when you walk in the door, like give you time if you want to kind of sneak in the back and just observe for a bit. If you want to get to know us, then hey, we're around, we're fun people too. But I think that's really important, actually, that we all have ebbs and flows in all of the different rhythms of our life, but in particular with our engagement in church. And add to that sometimes when we are really connected into community, we really feel like it's important. Sometimes in some church communities, there's a lot of need and there's not enough people to do that work. And the people who are willing to do that work get overloaded with probably more work than is reasonable to ask for any volunteer. And then they get burnt out from that. And so it's actually been a really big part of our story here is giving lots of space for lots of people to find their way back to God, however long that takes. That can be your engagement, your participation, your volunteering. It can also be your faith journey. We have people that come to this church for years and don't label themselves Christian. They would still say, I'm figuring it out, I'm agnostic. All of that is good. I think what Bobby's talking about here is not just, do you volunteer? Do you give yourself the label? But it's, do you participate in the life of community? And that happens in conversations across the coffee and with the people beside you as much as it does, okay, I joined a team and I volunteered and stuff. So that kind of space, the pressure to live up to an ideal or to fill a role, take as much time as you need. Figure that out at your own pace. The invitation to participate, to feel welcome, to get to know people, that's the kind of thing that I don't want to push people into. But ultimately, that's what we all need, and that's what we want, is that kind of life-on-life experience together. So that kind of thing, I'd encourage you as soon as possible, start playing with that. Volunteering, getting involved, giving money, whatever. Figure that out at your own pace. That stuff will come. Mm-hmm. Thoughts?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I love the question. And one of the themes I think that's woven through all of my years of teaching here is this message that I don't know we've gotten from pulpits a lot, which is this profound trust in the Spirit's work in each of our lives. And so sometimes my language has been, trust yourself. Like that is often, if you sit down for a coffee with me and I hear your story, I'm gonna pick up on something. And that thing right there, trust that. Trust yourself. So I think absolutely, like it's all invitation. It is not meant to be pressure. That being said, as I mentioned, I have always worked in the church. And that doesn't mean that all of my decades of working in the church have been seasons in my life where I was happy or where I was, not without extreme doubt or extreme disconnection from some of the really important relationships in my life. And I would say that somehow always staying connected to the work of the church has pulled me through and really quite kept me whole. So from my own experience, and of course I'm paid to be here, it's a little different, but I still think there's something about, my commitment is to this place. And even while I'm figuring it out, maybe here, and it's not such a public thing, I'm still here, I'm still offering something. I think there's a profound, mysterious way that we are about our healing, even when our dance with community is like going forward, but we feel like we're a little bit stuck behind. I would just say find a way. But if you feel like it's unhealthy, don't do it. Don't ever do it. But I do think sometimes we shy away. We think we need to sort everything out before we really have a lot to offer. And personally, I say actually still offering something to a community that you trust, that you love, has been essential to me for my own healing, my own walk of wholeness with the divine.
Bobby said something I really like there about that idea that at Commons, we've always tried to have a lot of trust in the Spirit of God. And I think that's really true. One of the things that I heard early when we started Commons was, well, that's why we don't do altar calls, that kind of thing. Because it's a cultural thing, it's fine, lots of churches do that. But here we've always had that sense, well, if we tell the Jesus story well, if we invite people to live in that, the Spirit is going to pull them along in their own pace to come along. So we've never done an altar call because we never wanted to rush someone faster than they needed to go. At the same time, we've grown, we're 4 services, we're looking at second parish, we're doing baptisms next week, because the Spirit of God, this gentle pull towards wholeness and healing that all of us want to pursue, is a real thing. Like, the Spirit of God really is active in all of our lives. And sometimes that's us as a team having some trust in that, but I think, like Bobby's saying, is this having some trust in all of us to say, okay, God's going to lead me. I don't know what that's going to look like right now, but I'm going to keep moving one foot in front of the other in the same direction. I'm going to trust eventually I'm going to find my way back to the God who I trust is out there looking for me. So
Lovely.